Hey guys, it's Jujude6, and I'm going to be doing an album review today on The Killer's 4th studio album, Battleborn, which came out September 18th of 2012. And yes, so the track listings to this album are Flesh and Bone, Runaways, The Way It Was, Here With Me, A Matter of Time, Deadlines and Commitments, Miss Atomic Bomb, The Rising Tide, Heart of a Girl, From Here On Out, Be Still, and Battleborn. Now, and they're still on Island Death Jam Records. Now, listening to this album, I was kind of a little afraid to be honest, because there was a lot of people had mixed feelings of this album. Most of what I heard was a lot of people didn't like the album, but I happened to listen to it with an open mind, and actually honestly really liked the album, and it grew on me pretty quick after like 2 listens to the thing from start to finish. In my opinion, it from their last release, Day and Age, it goes for a different sound, not a complete 180, but it goes for a different sound. The majority of the songs on this album are very slow, and they kind of lack energy. They're more like love ballads, if you will. But there are some songs that go back to old Killers, which, you know, old Killers like Hot Fuss fans would really like. The first single, Runaways, is definitely like Hot Fuss. It definitely has a lot of energy to it, a great upbeat chorus. The song just really is awesome, and it's actually one of my favorites on the album. Another song that reminds me of old Killers too is A Matter of Time. The guitar and the bass kind of going together, and they're just kind of controlling the aspect of the song in a way in certain parts. Really reminds me of how Hot Fuss and Sam's Town, they would do that with a few of their songs. So A Matter of Time definitely sounds like an old Killers song to me. In my opinion, if you're listening to this album and you love Killers music, whether it's from their first album, Day and Age, and you're listening to this album, I think you might like it. There's a chance, but a lot of people too, being Killers fans, wouldn't like this album, especially if you're a lot into like Hot Fuss and Sam's Town, really only like those 2 albums. If you don't have an open mind about this album, you're really not going to like it. Especially if you're like a Hot Fuss and a Sam's Town fan. You're just going to think that this album is very boring, it's very dull, it's very dragged, and that a lot of the songs are really lame. I mean, I agree that they're not like the first 2 Killers albums that had a lot of energy and a lot of like spirit in them, but to me, this album is like a compilation of like slow ballad tracks that the Killers just decided to make. I think for what this album is, it has great slow tracks on it. Honestly, I love like Miss Atomic Bomb. That's not a real slow track, but that's a really great song with a powerful chorus to it. And that song doesn't lack energy at all. And one of my favorite songs that's actually one of the slowest on this album is Be Still. And that album has a lot of thought and a lot of emotion to it. Listening to this album makes you think a lot, and it makes you kind of focus more on the vocals, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I personally really liked this album. Some of their best lyrics are on this album. Be Still is some of the best Killers lyrics, honestly. And if you don't agree with me, that's personally fine, and I can understand why people wouldn't like this album, because it really does lack energy and, in a sense, direction as well. But overall, I really liked every single song except Flesh and Bone. As the opener to the album, I kind of thought it would be just a little bit more of a driven song, but to me, I felt like it was going nowhere, and the chorus just kind of got really dull. But I like every single song except that, and I think this is a great variety of songs that are just really slow-paced and have a couple of fast-paced tracks here and there. My favorites on the album were Runaways, the hit single, Matter of Time, Miss Atomic Bomb, Be Still, and the last track, Battleborn. Battleborn was a great way to close out the album, definitely. So overall, I thought this was a good album. It's my third favorite Killers album. I think it's better than Day and Age just because I liked more of the songs better. I thought that they had more thought process to them. I don't know. They just sounded better even though they were two different kind of albums. But overall, I think this is a really good album. Is it their best? No. Is it like old Killers? No. It's a different side of the Killers, but yet I really like it. Overall, good album. Some cons on this album, in my opinion, were I kind of wish that they had a different variety of lyrical themes instead of the same, you know, cliche kind of love interest, love relationship type things, but they had some songs that were really great and talked about different things. Also, I kind of wish this album had more direction, and I wish they had a couple more upbeat tracks on the album. But you know what? This album, even though it didn't have that much energy to it, still had some great slow songs. And it shows a different side of the Killers that I never knew about that I actually really learned to like. So I'll show you guys the CD tour of the album. Whoa. Here's the front, which I really love the cover to this. Here's the back. I'll show you guys the inside. Here's the disc. It's red. Here's the back with the credits. The booklet's very simple, short to the point. Just has the songs and like credits to who wrote what and just pictures in the backgrounds. It's a very simple booklet. Kind of wish they had like lyrics in it, but you know, it's okay. So overall, if I liked this album, please check it out if you haven't. Give it a chance and listen to every song from start to finish, because you'll be surprised, even old Killers fans, you'll find stuff on here you like. Songs to check out is definitely the hit single Runaways. Old Killers fans will like that. Try Miss Atomic Bomb. It's got a great catchy chorus to it. And that was my album review, guys. I hope you